Here we are again. Oh, no. Look at how. No, we're talking again. Watch out. This is Deborah Colleen Rose and Luann Morris, and we are at Clear Point Crystal Studios recording our podcast. And we just talk about whatever we want to. And today, Luann came up with an idea.
Well, I thought we'd talk about retirement and how it looks different for different people. Because I know when I retired from corporate, what was that, 4 years ago?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did you
about that, about 4 years ago, when I was 64.
When I'm 64,
And everybody was like, well, what are you going to do now? What do you mean? What am I going to do? I have plans. I have stuff I need to get done. I have it. it it surprises me when people tell me, well, I'm going to go home and sit in my chair and maybe I'm going to do some traveling, but that's all I'm going to do. I'm not doing anything else. Well, for me, I got to keep learning and keep busy and keep going.
well, the thing about it is that while you had a corporate job, you were still working in an arena, by my definition, where you were using your God-given talents and gifts as a
Mm-hmm.
healer. And so
Mm-hmm.
you've just kind of transitioned out of corporate healing into holistic healing, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still healing. And so I honestly think that we just need to stop recording this because we don't have anything to really say because we're not in the same group as everybody else.
Well, you're
At
right.
64, I have started a new business. I am maintaining my existing businesses and I'm starting a new business based upon my interests, my gifts, and my talents. And I don't see myself ever retiring, but I don't understand the concept of retiring. Honestly, to me, retirement made sense when people were living mainly in the blue collar world and they were going to work every day, digging coal or pumping gas, things of that nature, where your body is physically being tested every day with physical labor. Okay.
Well, my my job was not that physical, but it was physical. I blew out 2 knees while I was there and had them replaced. And of course
Well,
that,
sure. And so that happens, but it's not the same as going down into a coal mine, you
oh no,
know, and
no.
things of that nature. So I think the idea of retirement for people in this country, at least, maybe not in other cultures and other countries, I think it's actually an antiquated idea. Which is really funny because we actually see the reverse happening. I'm reading in the newspapers and stuff all the time. 30-year-old retires early, made millions of dollars as an influencer, and now all they do is travel the world. I guess that sounds great to a lot of people. I can't imagine. I that just sets my teeth on edge.
I would love to travel, but I'm not in a position to do that. But it's not like, oh, well, I wanted to work myself into the ground until I was 70 to get that done.
Yeah,
I was
I
ready
like
to
to
move on to
travel, but
something else.
there's my dog. Hi, Iggy. I like to travel, but not in the way that most people like getting on a boat, getting on an airplane, going to some destination that's totally foreign to your upbringing and background, spending a week, spending a lot of money on stupid souvenirs and tchotchke stuff. You know, that has never intrigued me. I do love to travel, going to places, especially if I can drive and spend time with the people and go into the bad parts of town and see how, all people live in that
No, I'm
area.
not going to do that.
I did. Well, I did that with my, PI company, and and I need to take you out and teach you something. The bad part of town is not as bad as you think it is. It's really not. That was my first very important lesson when I had my bail bond companies. Is that because I grew up in with a police officer, dad and uncle, and all that in my background, and so there was always that criminal element that we were taught, I can't
A-
talk
That was
about.
that we're told that is out there to get you.
Yeah, and all kinds of things like that. And what was freaking me out is that people would come in to do bail bonds, and a lot of times it'd be their friends or their family, and then the actual person I got them out of jail would have to come in and do paperwork. And I'm like, well, he's like cousin so and so, and she's like cousin so and so, and that reminds me of Aunt so and so. And I realized that they weren't much different than all the people I knew, you know.
They're not.
And now there are some true criminals out there, but um they're also human beings that have other things in their lives. They're not all bad. They're not all bad. And so, and then again, with all the cultural differences that we now have in Texas, a lot of things that we think, oh my God, that's awful, it's just a cultural idea and a cultural thing. Like, okay, so for instance, it's really bad to shoot guns in the city limits, and there's a safety issue there on top of everything else. But you shoot your gun in, during 4th of July and all that, the bullet has a chance of going through someone's window, landing on your head, whatever. You have no idea where that bullet's going, just shooting it in
No.
the air. So it's just not common sense. But I'm gonna tell you, I grew up in a culture where we did that when we were kids, and nobody thought anything about it. And this is coming from a police officer's daughter. So a lot of things are just cultural differences, or they're just common sense things because we have more people closer together now, things of that nature. So,
Yeah, I experienced when I was house sitting across the street, kind of down one or two houses, and they had some big party. I don't know if it's a quinceanera or what. And I thought, oh no, it's Saturday night. They're going to party till midnight and I'm going to be miserable. No, 10 o'clock came and everything shut down.
yeah, most
So
people are
they
pretty
were
reasonable.
courteous of their neighbors in the neighborhood. And
But then on the other side of that coin, we have a meat market down the street. I mean, half a mile down the main street. And
uh
they were having some grand opening, and midnight the other night, we had to call and say, look, you need to shut that little thing down. It was their grand opening. And they had been playing mariachi music since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 10 hours of that stuff, I was about to go insane.
yeah, that can be. Was it on a Saturday or a weeknight?
It was on a Saturday, and it started Saturday afternoon at 2, and you're like, okay, I don't like it. I don't like that, and I don't like that oomph beat. And because I'm very sensitive to sounds, and I'm very sensitive to vibrations. And you would think them being that far away, but the wind was right. I don't know, the energy was right, and it just traveled. Is that a spider? Oh my God, don't come over here. And and that sound just traveled. Don't you do it. And traveled and traveled. And but so by midnight I was done. I was real done. So, but they finally got it turned off about 1 o'clock. So
Well, I think most ordinances on the Friday and Saturday night say midnight or 2 o'clock.
I'll be right back.
Oh, oh my God, what? Okay, so we're not
Can
just
you hear
sitting
me?
here looking at each other.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. The spider is going outside.
Oh, um, I will. So when I retired, I just switched gears. I went and did my herbals full time and left behind the biology world. And now here I am 4 years later thinking I sure would like to go back to the operating room, but I don't think my body would hold up to a 12-hour shift.
No, no, there has to be some realization of reality here. That spider had to go outside. Spiders
Okay.
like spiders really like me, and I don't like spiders because I got bit by a black widow spider when I was a kid. I had a huge abscess in my arm. It was very painful, and it gushed everywhere when it finally opened up. It was horrific. It was a black widow, but I don't like any spiders now. I just don't trust them. You can't trust them. They'll bite anything.
Well, that brings me to the tarantula I had when I worked at Kilgore College. We had this cute little tarantula we called Ladybug, and I took care of her and I got her crickets to eat, and she molted twice while I was there, and she just the sweetest thing. And to feed her, I would put my hand down and she would crawl up on my hand. Are you grossed out yet?
Yeah, I'm pretty grossed out. First of
Well,
all, why would you call a tarantula ladybug? If I was the tarantula, I probably would have bit you out because I'd be
I
insulted.
didn't name her, someone else named her. So, but the funny thing is that after I left, I mean, I talked to her several times a day. When I would go by her cage, I would just say, "What are you doing in there staring at me? Stop." But
Yeah.
I would talk to her a lot. And when I left, she disappeared.
Well, hilarious is I put the spiders out and I put crickets and stuff like that outside when if they get in the house. The geckos in the yard I let in the house. I love the geckos.
Well, they have legs and arms, and
They're
there's
so cute. And I love to watch them change colors and do their little thing. And but the other day I was sitting in the bathroom, and I won't go in the bathroom that turn the light on at night because there's spiders in there. And so, but I was half asleep even though the light was on, and I felt something tickling on my leg, and I looked down, there's a damn gecko crawling up my leg.
he was asking what's up.
I was like, it's too late. Get in the bathtub. Go do something. It's too late.
Well, you know that oh, sorry. I'm going to be going away for a second. Uh, you know that what they do is you're taking them away from their food source when you bring them in the house.
No, I'm not. We have plenty of spiders in this house. I'm
Okay.
telling you, this house is a spider magnet. I mean, seriously, I work myself to death hauling those little things outside constantly.
Mm.
When I take Gemma for a walk, I half expect to turn around and see a parade of spiders following us. I do.
They really like you a lot.
They do. They really do
Okay,
like me a
we're
lot.
off subject now. You do know that.
No, I don't care. See, that's the thing. I don't care. If it's my show, I don't care.
Well, I think it would be interesting if people would inform this group of two. When you retire, do you really mean you're not doing anything else? Do you really mean that I'm not traveling? I'm not going anywhere. I'll go where I want to when I want to. I'm going to see the grandkids, and I'm not, because if I thought that I couldn't take classes or learn from people or do things that are new, what's the point?
Well, I think it's great that people are doing things when they retire. Like I have two friends that both of them travel a lot, and they have different traveling styles. One travels all over the country, and she goes and visits family, and then she goes and sees. She likes to hike and things like that. So she's always going to places where they have great outdoor things and stuff. And the other one drives around and does a lot of traveling and takes wildlife photography, and that's cool
Oh,
too.
yeah, that's
My
interesting.
problem is that I'm not interested in anything enough to do it long term. To go and do like a little photo safari. Okay, I'll do that for 2 weeks and then I'm done. Okay, I did it. I'm done. And Scott's a big hobby. My husband is a big hobby person. I don't have hobbies. If I like doing it, I do it all the time. But I found a way to turn it into money, which is why I have 3 companies now.
Well, I think if I was going to talk about hobbies, herbalism is not my hobby anymore. But I like to do things like crochet and I paint.
What? I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say anything. I was totally quiet. Totally quiet.
So, yeah.
Hobbies for me turn out to be projects. Projects have a deadline.
Mm.
And most hobbies make messes that have to be organized so that you can function properly and be efficient while you're doing them. So they turn into chores. Like
No.
when I was younger, I used to do latch hook rugs because I'm really not very crafty. I have good ideas, but I can't execute them. And what I found out is that I became obsessed with getting it finished. I had to get all the green done, and then we had to do all the yellow. And now we got to do all the blue. Well, we're so close. Now we just got to finish the damn thing. And I would stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning until that thing was finished every night. That wasn't fun.
Then you're doing it wrong.
No, that's who I am. I'm not doing it wrong. That's just who I am. I'm not a hobby person. I don't have hobbies. I like to do something once. So I don't have the mess. I don't have the expense. I can go and experiment with it. And I've been fortunate enough being self-employed that I haven't gotten to do everything I'd like to do when I want to, but I've been able to take off time to spend with family, go see my grandkids, do the things I want to do. And I find my work so fucking interesting that I enjoy it almost every day. I get to see people when I want to. I don't have to answer my phone if I don't want to, you know. So the idea of retiring, I have no idea what I would do if I retired. I have no idea because there's nothing I want to do continually.
So in retrospect, you're just, I think that you're just leaving one income source and moving to the next.
Well, I'm actually just kind of expanding it. I do a little bit of everything still.
Yeah.
I probably in the next couple of years will close down my PI business just because I'm starting to get bored with it. And it just doesn't hold my intrigue anymore. And frankly, I just do a lot of free consultations lately just because I don't want the cases. So I'll tell people who they can go hire or if they even need an investigator or whatever. But what I tell everyone right now is that with the entertainment business, doing the fortune telling and the handwriting analysis and the entertainment, the interactive entertainment, I said, this is my paid hobby. That's really my paid hobby. And I have put more effort into this than I have anything. Other than the fact that the equipment for the PI business was more costly, I have invested more money in this. I have advertised it more than I ever have because I've always worked mainly off referrals with my other companies. I've bought tons of costumes because I enjoy it. And I'm like, oh, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this. And it really intrigues me. And it, you know, and you saw how much fun I had when we were doing our Oracle cards. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that was something that I had wanted to do for many years. And when you said, let's do that, I went, yeah, let's do it.
yeah, but now we've done it and I'm done. And so now it's moving on to the next, you know, project or whatever. What else sounds fun? But that's one of the reasons why I'm always giving you ideas about your herbal concoctions. It's all like, oh, she should do this because it would be like this. And I literally spend as much time thinking about your business, shut up, as I do mine, you know, things that would help with your marketing and other things that would, you know, people might want to buy
Right.
and be interested in. So,
Well, I'm taking a class right now, an herbalism class to kind of help. It'll help get more in tune with you. You study a lot of different herbs, but you concentrate on one for the next 10 months. And I can't decide which one to concentrate on. And I found this one that I knew nothing about, never heard of it, called Damianan. And so I did some research on
makes
that.
you
And
horny.
yeah, it does. It's supposed to. I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
She doesn't need it. That's why she hasn't tried it.
I am going to I'm going to make the love potion I came up with for Valentine's Day, and I'm going to film it, and I'm going to put it out there on my Facebook.
Well, I'm not drinking it with you.
I bought a Shiraz.
What if we fall in love with each other? That wouldn't
No,
be
that's
right.
not happening.
Well,
That's
that is
not-
not a love potion, is it?
well, it's to use with your significant other. It's to use with someone you already have a relationship with.
Well, that's
It's
what I'm
to,
saying. I'm not going to drink it with you. I'm not going to sit there and look at you and drink.
oh, I see what you mean.
See,
Sorry.
bitch, be gone. Oh my God. I want to spray myself. Rodeo.
But that's it, you know, you would take time out to be with Scott, and y'all, you could drink it hot or you could drink it cold, like a mulled cider, because it has cinnamon, that's Damiana, chamomile. So there's something in there to help you relax, something to pick up the flavor, um, something to help you with your feeling frisky. What? What?
I can't say it's so bad. I am not even going to say it. My mind has just derailed and gone off the
That's
track.
why people don't hear our programs. They don't want to hear that.
It's bullshit. People love it. I say things that people think and they're afraid to say because they care what people think. I don't care what y'all think. Get over it.
I care
I
what
don't
they
care.
think. I
I don't
mean,
care what you think. You don't pay my bills. You don't make love to me. You don't keep a roof over my head. You don't buy my clothes. I don't care.
you're so rude. So rude.
I am. I am. By the definitions of this group of people and this society today, I am very rude. When
Well,
I
let's
was young,
just say
I was considered witty.
you speak your mind. How's that?
Yeah, what little there is. I let the little child out to play. Bless her heart.
Well, you know, we went to a Texacom meeting this week, and um, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She had games for us. Oh my
Jana,
stars. Huh?
Jana,
Dana?
Jana, Jana.
Jana.
You're Tarzan. She's Jana.
I'm not, no. So Jana is older than me, and she's got it going because I looked at this game and I went, I can't put those in order. You know, there was 5 events from like the
For
60s,
each
70s,
decade.
80s, 90s, and 2000s.
For each decade since
And
60.
I was like, I no, I don't know when that happened.
I didn't either. I didn't even try. But then the part I liked was the slogans, like who said,
Mhm.
"Where's the beef?" You know,
Yeah.
who that type of thing. So that was
And it
cool.
surprised me that that middle group that was over 40 but not 60 yet, they got a lot of them.
Yeah, but I got a theory. I can't prove it, but I got a theory because there was 2 tables of that group. When there were 2 tables of that
I
group,
think so.
but they had a lot of people to help. Okay, so
Yes.
their odds of getting it right more than tripled. We had 4 people in our group. They had like 12. All right. So the other thing is that I couldn't watch all of them, and it was so frenzied. I know nobody else. How do we know they weren't Googling shit?
Well, you don't.
That's right.
You had
So
to
I think there
trust.
should be a rematch. I think there should be a.
Oh, it was fun anyway. It
It
was
was.
fun.
I
It was
enjoyed
lots of
that so
fun.
much. I really
It
did.
it was fun when she did the group thing, where she did the pictures. They
Well,
didn't know
and
who she put Elizabeth Taylor up there when she was probably in her 20s,
oh, she was gorgeous.
and nobody knew who it was
I did.
except our table.
I have Elizabeth Taylor's bosom now since I had my breast reduction. I took a picture of her bosom when she was in Cat in the Hot Tin Roof. And I said, that's what I want. That's
And
what I
that's
got.
what you got. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. But she wasn't huge then. They were perky, but they weren't huge.
Did you know that Raquel Welch passed?
I did. That's so sad.
It is.
That's
She
so
was
sad.
only 82.
That's sad.
She should have lived
And
to be 99.
everybody is dying from, the things that we know. So that is proof that we're getting older, if nothing else. But I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care.
Okay. Well, as far as what I define as retirement, it's not happening for me. You know, I saw my dad retire, and that's what he did. He stayed at home a lot. He did eventually have a girlfriend about 3 years after mom passed. Um, um, he went to the golf course a lot. I don't know what he did there.
Oh, just shoot me now.
But he was strictly retired. That's it. Done. He didn't do anything else.
The only retirement I'm gonna get is if I am incapacitated, or it's gonna be on a daily basis when I retire to bed so I can sleep to do it again the next day.
I've already told my kids, look, I want you to be very successful because I will expect the very best nursing home.
Not me. I want a houseboat. I want to
Oh,
live on a, I want to live in a houseboat.
but
I don't know why I said that. I don't really want to live in a houseboat.
no, you don't. And I suggested to my mom, she said that her partner was not doing well and she thought he was going to pass. And I said, why don't you start looking at retirement communities? I'm not going to a nursing home. I said, I didn't say nursing home. I said retirement community.
Those are cool. Actually wouldn't mind living in one of those right now, but they're so expensive. I mean, think about it. They have maid service, they have on-site medical service. They usually have some small movie theater in the really classy ones. They have meals served, or you can cook in your own place. They
Mhm,
have an Uber or bus that takes them shopping in different places. I
mhm.
mean, what's not to love about that? Or you can go in your room and never talk to anybody. So
My dad's mother was like that. She was like, oh, this is like being at the Ritz. Everybody waits on you.
yeah. Now, see, I can dig that. I can dig that. Now, the other thing that intrigues me is the people that live on the cruise lines year round.
Oh, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously don't collect things. See, there's a lot of options out there if you don't collect possessions. If you have possessions, you can't do that. Like my son and daughter-in-law are saying that when their kids are out of high school, they're going to go nomad and have a tiny home. And I'm like, oh my God, you have a room that has nothing but arts and crafts shit in it.
And collectibles and
How is that going to work? How is that going to work? So,
yeah.
not going to argue with them. Let them figure it out.
Probably by that time you won't know or care.
That's just 5 years from now. I'll know. I'll
What?
care.
5 years
Yeah.
from now?
Yeah. The kids are 14 and 13. They'll be out of high
Oh,
school.
they're not gonna do that when the kids are out of high school. Scarlett's gonna go to college.
Yeah. Then they've already said that this will be home base for her to come home to for holidays and stuff. But I said, no, it's not. And they said, why? I said, because I'm going to move to wherever Scarlett's going to college, and I'm going to get an apartment next to her dorm because I'm going to spy on her. I got all
Have
this
you
high
actually
equipment.
discussed that with Scarlett? She may have a different idea.
Yeah, I did. And she says, no, you're not. And I said, well, you're not the boss of me. And I said, and I am the boss of you. So don't tell me I'm not.
I would not do that to my grandson.
Well, that's you. My grandchild is precious, and I'm going to make sure she stays that way.
I didn't say he wasn't precious.
Have you
I
seen
didn't
those
say
boys
I.
in college? Have you seen have you seen those boys in college? They're
Yes.
animals. They're animals.
Yes, some are, some are not.
No, I just no, but the thing is that what does occur to me is that if she does go away for college, there's no reason why we couldn't live in that area. You
You're
know,
right. You're right.
there's nothing to tie me anywhere. I really don't like living in Dallas. I stayed in Dallas when I got grown, but because we moved here when I was 11 from Arkansas, and I knew what kind of career business I wanted to be in, and I knew there was no way I could make that work in Arkansas during that time period because of the economy, number one, and number two, because I was female,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so here I could make things work that I couldn't make work, but I really do want to live in Arkansas. Now, to me, if I'm going to retire and I'm going to just sit around and not do anything special or see anybody special, it would be on a creek in the mountains in Arkansas. That's what total retirement would be for me if I was going to do it.
And if I totally retired, I would be on the beach in Port Aransas.
It's sand. That's dirt.
So
It's useless dirt because you can't grow anything in it. Oh my God. Do you see any grass on the beach? No. Do you see any
no, but
plants?
have you seen the sand dunes? there's stuff that grows there.
Not much, not very much shade. And my skin, oh my God. And if I got in the water, I'm the other white meat for all those meat eating things in there.
I didn't
Oh,
say
look.
I was getting in the water
Yeah. Well, what's the point then?
because I enjoy the ocean and I like to walk along the beach and get my feet wet. And sometimes I get all the way up to my knees out there. But when I was a kid,
And that's that far because she's so damn short.
I would go out
Hey,
with my
don't go out in the
dad.
water very deep. I'm just going to my knees. She moved 3 inches. She's in her knees.
I would go with my dad, and he was 6'4", and we would go till he was in the water up to here. So I did a lot of swimming.
Then you look like a little buoy out there floating around.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah,
I don't understand the ocean. That's probably gonna be one of the things I want to talk to God about when I get to heaven. What was the point of that? It has big, ugly things in there that eat you. You can't drink the water. You can't grow anything on the beach, and it took up a lot of space that we could have used for other things. What was the point of that?
we eat fish. We eat shrimp.
Yeah, but there's a question
We
about
eat
whether we should.
crustaceans like lobster
There's
and
a question about whether we should or not because there's a lot of pollution now.
well, now there is. Um, when I was a kid and we were doing it all the time, I mean, that was the bulk of our diet. My parents would go there for 4 weeks every year and gig for flounder. I don't even know if you can do that anymore. And gig for flounder and go out and fish for drum and redfish.
No,
And
everything's got seasons now and everything's regulated. So I think it would be hard pressed to do that. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I love seafood. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But if you have fibromyalgia, the worst thing in the world you can eat is shellfish.
Well, I don't eat a lot of shellfish, but I
And
do
how many
eat.
people have fibromyalgia now? So
I eat salmon. I eat cod. I eat,
I thought
you
you were
know,
gonna say something else. Don't look at me like that.
I eat a lot of fish. I love to get a flounder. Oh my goodness, so good. But
See, I like rainbow trout, and you get that in a nice clean stream
are
that
you
you can
sure?
see the bottom of. Yeah, rainbow trout is
Are
in
you sure?
streams.
Are you sure it's
Yes,
clean?
yes, you can
Okay.
see. I'm not gonna get in water where I can't see my toes. I want to see my toes, and I want to see what's around my toes.
Well, what we found, I made several biology trips to Corpus, and one of the bad things that we found is there's so much garbage, and there's a lot of medical waste that comes in. So you can't really go barefooted anymore. You have to wear shoes.
You can in Arkansas.
I'm not moving to Arkansas.
I love it there. There's a place called Winding Stairs in Arkansas that has a big pool outside this formation of caves, and it is at least 50 foot deep there, and you can see all the way to the bottom. It is so clear and so beautiful. And for energy, there's not. I've been to Wyoming, I've been to Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. No place has better natural energy than Arkansas. I mean, it's a constant high in those
I would argue
hills.
with that. When I was in North Carolina in Asheville, that was very awe-inspiring. We were in the mountains at a retreat.
I've
Wow,
not been there.
that was nice.
I did love Tennessee mountains though when I drove up to Vermont,
Hmm.
and our family actually lived in Tennessee for many, many years, several generations back. And I'm like, why did they leave? I mean, what possessed them? Because it is so gorgeous there. It
Hmm.
is beautiful. I don't understand how anyone ever decided to populate the rest of the country
Well,
because
that's
it's so.
where my dad's family came from, Kentucky, Tennessee, from New York. So New York
New
down.
York, New York City.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you realize that what's really funny is that all of Southerners
Mhm.
originally come from Yankees
Oh,
because
sure.
because that's where the majority of people immigrated to and then spread south and west, and so we're
Yeah,
all Yankees somewhere,
exactly.
you know. So,
Well, my birth mother and father, well, my father was from Kansas and my mother was from Iowa. So
Iowa. So
Iowa's
the
up
bottom
there.
line is we don't understand retirement and we
No,
will
we
not
don't.
retire. We may not make a lot of money, but we won't be retired.
No, I just I think that when I stop doing things, that's when I just want to curl up and die. You know,
Yeah, I am rarely bored, rarely bored,
oh yeah, I'm not bored.
but I don't actively seek out socialization. I don't have hobbies, but I'm just intrigued by everything. I mean, I was the kid that read the encyclopedias. I did. I
Mhm.
loved reading the encyclopedias. I
Well,
remember sitting there and reading my mother's pregnancy book when I was 5 about babies and pregnancy exercises and how to nurse children. And it just was interesting. I just like learning stuff.
yeah.
And
And if there was something I didn't know and I would ask questions and people would go, I don't know, then I go look it up.
exactly, I don't like saying I don't know. I will. I won't fake it, but if I don't know, I'll go find out. And
Exactly.
that's why I got promoted. The only real job I've ever had in life is I worked for Homer's Home Improvement. I started in high school, and then I got promoted into management at the early age of 18, which was really unheard of back then, especially for a woman in that industry.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because I could tell you how to plumb your house. I could tell you how to sheetrock your house, how to lay carpet and even though I'd never done it, why is the CPAP store calling me? And and but I could sit there and tell them step by step how to do it, even though I had never physically done it, because I learned, I researched it, it interested me, I liked it, it
Mm-hmm.
intrigued me. So anyway, enough of that crap. What
So
else?
we're not retired and we're not gonna retire. So
No, if nothing else, we'll just hang out on podcast all day long.
have something different to do. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start working
Today
more
we're
on
doing senior pole dancing.
no, no, we are not.
Can you imagine?
No.
I can. That's not pretty. It is not pretty. All right.
Gotta,
Well, I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Well, tell them how to find your herbal loose stuff.
Oh, well, you go to my website, which is herbal-lu.com, herbal-lu.com, or you can email me at herballu1105, herballu1105 at Gmail.
And if you need any kind of entertainment for a party or a corporate event, or if you need some team building for small groups, go to milesofsmilesevents.com or to deborahcolleenrose.com. And you can reach me that way and I'll hook you up with something. Maybe pole dancing. Who knows?
No, we don't do that, but maybe we can
I
find
used
someone
to.
who does.
I will say this. I should have done this. I took belly dancing lessons for about a year and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then I was in a car wreck and I hurt my back and I quit doing it. I should have gone back to that. That was so much fun. So much fun. I should have done that. And back then I had the belly to do it.
Well, you're thinner now.
No, you have to have a little pooch of a belly. You have to have you have a little a good, if you go and look at all the really good belly dancers, they have just a little pooch of a belly because there's a lot of muscle underneath there. And you have to be able to move that six-pack muscle like
Mhm.
ripples.
Mm.
And then the really good ones can go side to side too. See, all mine have been tied up. They've been trussed up like a turkey. I can't control them like I used to. You understand what
Say
I'm
goodbye,
saying?
Deborah.
Goodbye, Deborah.
Y'all have a